I mean, in that period, I mean, people were also substantiating other gods, so I'm not sure why we're
Okay, give me
referencing.
evidence for another god. Go ahead.
I don't believe in any other
Well,
gods. There's
you said they were substantiating other gods, and you say there's just as much evidence. You know how many times people have brought that asinine claim to my channel and never provided a single piece of evidence?
It's not really asinine.
Well, provide the evidence, and I'll take my claim back.
You realize how, I mean, you're calling it asinine, but your attitude's fucking asinine too. You want me, I'm literally in like a parking lot and you want me to pull up research from my phone, copy paste it to you, and that's what you want? It sounds like you're not interested in having a conversation. It seems like that's why you're a Christian, because you're a dipshit.
Maybe don't just pull stuff out of your butt that you've heard other people say and actually look at the data. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 27.
What's up, bro?
No, then I work events and I'm just have 30 minutes ish to kill. So I was on TikTok and thought I could spend them here. I mean, I have 30 minutes to unalive. I'm trained.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as leaving Christianity, I'm the opposite. I'm someone who was Christian and lost that. What value do you see as someone who did the opposite, was an atheist and became Christian? I guess a preemptive question: were you Christian before and then you became atheist and you reverted, or?
No, I wasn't Christian before.
Okay, so as interesting experience, how did you come to find value in Christianity?
Well, my testimony, like I got 3 videos of my testimony on my YouTube if you want that, but I had a Christophany experience with Christ, and ultimately it's true. And so if it's true, it's the best path to follow, because you want to believe as many true things and as least false things.
How do you define truth?
Truth would be something that is grounded in reality.
How is the Bible grounded in reality?
Because it's historical documentation of real events.
As historical as like any historical fiction. I mean, why would I have faith in the Bible?
There's not a single scholar out there that considers the Bible fiction. That includes atheist scholars.
I wouldn't consider it necessary. I mean, contentious for like miracles and stuff. That's also requires some more logical substantiation. But then, what sets the Bible aside from other religious documents? Like, wouldn't say like the Quran be historical as well, considering the period where it was written?
Yeah, the Quran is historical.
So why is the Quran, so what makes the Bible more substantive than the Quran?
Because of the claims inside of it.
But that doesn't necessarily lead to the substance, just merely the claims. Like, you just like what they say.
No, that's not what I said. You're asserting what I said. So, for example, the Quran just says it's from God and that Muhammad received it in a cave by himself. It's not a very strong claim. The Bible says that a man resurrected from the dead, and there's multiple eyewitness attestations for that, and a huge change in culture because of that event.
Where are these eyewitness accounts substantiated?
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John,
So
Paul.
in the Bible, the source substantiates the source itself?
No, because there's multiple sources.
The books of the Bible.
Yeah, what did you say?
Multiple books of the same
What did you say?
Bible.
Did you say books or books?
Books.
So plural,
I mean,
right? Multiple,
like you said, books, yeah,
multiple historical documents. So when they wrote all those documents, were they all compiled into one book when it was written?
The same source? I mean, it's leads to the same substance that the Quran have.
Answer the question, please.
Were they not compiled as the same document under the same like theocracy of the church? Yeah, sure, but still.
So you think all the books in the Bible when they were written were all immediately put into one singular form?
Excuse me. Probably not, but still the same attestations of that same group of people. Like
James and Paul were enemies.
Similar testimonies from like Mormonism. James and Paul were enemies.
James and Paul were enemies of Christianity. Those are two. That's two enemy attestations, which raises the probability of something being true.
Where is it defined that James and Paul are enemies of Christianity?
So Paul himself claims he was an enemy, and then Luke in the book of Acts claims Paul was an enemy. James, through church tradition, says he's an enemy, and it was written by Josephus. And then within the Gospels, it says James was an enemy.
But wait, it's been a while since I've done biblical stuff. Paul was the guy who, I want to say apostate, but he was a convert. Or are you saying at the end of his life Christians. He was? Yeah, okay, good. I am on track. But then afterwards, he became a Christian, no?
Yeah.
So why is he an enemy?
Because he was killing Christians. He was an enemy, and then the evidence was so astronomical.
But then he was a converted.
The evidence was so astronomical to him that he converted.
I mean, in that period, I mean, people were also substantiating other gods, so I'm not sure why we're
Okay, give me
referencing.
evidence for another god. Go ahead.
I don't believe in any other
Well,
gods. There's
you said they were substantiating other gods, and you say there's just as much evidence.
yeah, because
You know
the
how many times people have brought that asinine claim to my channel and have never provided a single piece of evidence? Well, provide a piece of evidence, and I'll take my
other
statement
than
back.
much evidence of say like the Hindu god Zeus,
Yeah, provide the evidence, and I'll take my claim back.
the fact that there's as much documentation of them.
If there is, I will take my claim back. Go ahead, show me.
Let me look up all these. Do you realize how? I mean, you're calling it asinine, but your attitude's fucking asinine too. You want me? I'm literally in like a parking lot, and you want me to pull up research from my phone,
Well,
copy paste it to you.
then
That's what you
maybe
want. It sounds like you're not interested in having a conversation. It seems like that's why you're a Christian because you're a dipshit.
maybe don't just pull stuff out of your butt that you've heard other people say and actually look at the data.
The data, the
Mm-hmm.
Christian data.
Any data, right? The data
Well, I
I'm
mean,
giving you.
where's your substance? I mean, you're the one providing the substance.
Yeah, sure.
We're having
I
a
can
verbal
give I can give
conversation. Where's
you.
your Christian data?
Yeah, no problem. So we can give you, for example, Bart Ehrman, who's a secular scholar. He is not a Christian. He would say that the data clearly shows that Jesus Christ was a real person, that he was crucified under Pontius Pilate, that he had 12 apostles, and then on Easter Day something crazy happened where they genuinely believed he rose from the dead, and his apostles were willing to die
They
on it.
genuinely. That's a big word that's carrying a lot of weight. People genuinely believe that, like, what was his name? The Mormon guy, John, whatever, had like his revelations. Does that make it as substantive?
Yeah, they recanted.
They recanted, but why is it not enough for it to not be a religion anymore? No,
I think it is. They recanted.
I mean,
and their evidence isn't
not
strong. So, for example, in the Book of Mormon,
as strong as Christian evidence.
In the Book of Mormon, they have archaeological claims that when they investigated them, showed them to be false. In the Bible, we have archaeological claims when we investigated them, showed them to be true. This would raise the probability.
What archaeological claims coincide with the Bible?
The Baths of Bethesda. So we discovered the Baths of Bethesda because of the Bible's description of where they were.
What about like archaeological claims such as like dinosaurs?
That's completely a goalpost shift, my friend, and you know it.
No, it's not. How old do you think the world is then?
I think the world is probably, 40 billion, something like that? 40 million?
40 billion? So how does that not coincide if like the creation of humanity puts it as closer to a couple thousand years old?
Show me the verse that says that the earth is a couple thousand years old.
Well, as far as the substantiation of Genesis, like you get light, you get the creation of man that coincides with humanity.
Genesis is poetic.
Are you saying that Genesis substantiates that like humans evolved from apes?
Genesis 1 is poetic.
So what point between like men being like put together, or Adam being put together from dirt?
Do you know what poetic means?
I know what poetic means. I'm trying to get you to substantiate where that poetics meets the archaeological reality of human evolution.
You don't need poetics to line up with archaeological evolution.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that it's archaeological substantive, it seems like you're conceding then if you're going to lean on that point.
I'm not conceding, because my whole point is
it's not like you're conceding.
No, you, my friend, have to be one of the dumbest people I've spoken to. So what I said is that we've discovered is like places like Bethesda, right? And then you shifted to, well, the Genesis 1 says that evolution doesn't line up, so that doesn't substantiate an archaeology. That wasn't my claim. So why would you go to Genesis 1 when it's not even my claim at all?
If you appreciate archaeology, then it should go fully through. So it seems like if you believe that the Earth is 4 billion
Genesis 1
old,
isn't an archaeological claim,
but it contradicts human evolution.
It's not. That's not the claim in Genesis 1. You keep asserting that it's an archeological claim, and it doesn't line up.
Let's get to bare bones. To bare bones. Do you believe in human evolution, that we evolved?
Yes, I believe in evolution.
Apes? So at what point in the Bible is it described that humans evolved from apes?
It doesn't.
So then how can you say it's substantive?
That I'm not making the claim of evolutions in the Bible. This is a really weird argument. You're creating an argument. You're creating an argument. Hold on, my friend. Oh, I didn't mean to kick you. You can come back. I meant to mute you. I'm sorry. You can come back though. I didn't mean to kick you. You're creating an argument I never made and then destroying that argument. That's called a straw man by definition. So you're saying, I'm claiming that the Bible is doing all truth claims for all of history that ever happened. And so if you can give me a truth claim in history that didn't happen in the Bible, therefore it's false. That's not any of my claims.
Well, I mean, there's truth claims in the Quran that coincide with history as well. Does that not make it as substantive?
Yeah, so I said the Quran is a historical
It's
document.
even a more, it's even a later document, so it's
Right.
just
I
is
already
more
I
substantive
don't
to
think
like
you have the
scholarship
capability of
rigor.
listening. For somebody who's sitting in a car by himself, you're incapable
Well,
of
I mean,
actually opening up your ears.
I am listening, but you're
I
the.
already said the Quran is an historical document.
I heard you. I heard you. I'm sorry. You get very insecure. So
Do I
how
seem
do you
insecure to
substantiate
you?
archaeology? You sound very insecure.
Do you
How
think
do
I'm
you?
insecure? I'm
I
literally
mean,
watching a boxing
yeah, because
fight
you're
while I'm
focusing
destroying
more.
you.
You're focusing more on talking about being insecure than answering my question. So how do you substantiate the conflict of evolution with the Bible?
I already answered that question twice.
How can you reiterate it?
No, because you're
Because I'm
not
just too
listening.
dumb to listen to you.
Yeah, you are too dumb
I'm
to
literally
listen.
pausing. See, it sounds like you're very insecure because you're afraid of answering my question.
I
Is
already
it so
answered your
hard to
question.
answer three
Here, I'll
times?
tell you what. Ask the chat because they were listening.
Well, now I have to read. Now I have to wait for someone to respond. So, at what point did the Bible substantiate human evolution?
Ask the chat because they were listening. I already answered that question.
They're not answering the question. I want to. Can I? I'm not getting the answer from them.
That's because you
If
haven't
you're so
asked them.
confident, chat.
Ask
Can you
them.
answer the question because the host is too scared to give me an answer himself? He says he never claimed it. He said it's poetic. That's true. Is that your answer? It's poetic?
So Genesis 1 is poetic.
You're leaning on, so you're substantiating poetry over like the breadth of knowledge of like
I'm
biological
not,
anthropology.
right. So what you're doing is called a category error, right? You're taking a poem and saying it doesn't line up with ontology, so therefore it's false. That's so stupid. That's so
I
dumb.
missed the word. Wait, I missed the word. Sorry, it cut out. You said a category error?
It's a category error.
A category. Sorry, there was a connection issue.
I think you
I
won.
I I did one. I did win because
No, not you. This guy.
it seems like you can't really substantiate it. Oh, did Mike Tyson win?
No, it's not that fight yet.
Oh, he's not up yet. Oh, yeah, I'm in Hollywood. There's a bunch of bars playing it. They've been telling me it's gonna be on any hour. Um, yeah, but I'll take the breadth of science. You can take your poetics. I
I'm not
think I'm a
against
lot
science.
more
I believe in
comfortable with it
evolution. I believe in old Earth. How does that make you think I'm against science?
because you're
You're
substantiating
literally you're
poetry as a
inventing
core
an
of your
argument I
belief.
never made
And no,
and then
stop!
telling me I'm wrong.
You're getting insecure again. I'm saying you don't really.
Do you genuinely
Your
in
answer
your heart
your
believe I'm
answer to the
insecure right now?
yeah. I feel
Deep
like
in
you're
your core?
insecure. Yeah,
You think this is
you're deep
projecting
in my core.
insecurity?
I mean, not deep in my core because I don't know you well enough, but I
Hmm.
feel like if I did, it's kind of on that track. So, like, you think poetics is substantive enough compared to like all of our studies of human evolution and cultural anthropology,
No,
biological anthropology.
never said that.
So then, why do you substantiate the Bible over all of that?
I'm not.
But you are because you're obviously a Christian, so you're leaning your belief on it. Or are you like a kind of Christian that's like, I believe in the faith, but not necessarily it's like historical scientific truths?
No, you haven't provided a contradiction between the two. You're saying I have to believe in one and not the
It's
other, but you
literally
haven't provided
the
a
development of
contradiction.
evolution, the development of evolution compared to the Genesis describing the creation of man does not coincide with humans evolving.
Again, Genesis 1 isn't talking about evolution and it's poetic. So I don't see a
It's talking
contradiction.
about the creation of human. So can you describe the poetry and how it coincides with the evolution? Because it seems like you understand that better than
It's
me.
not talking about evolution.
It's talking about the creation of man. So can you describe the creation of man biblically? How did that happen?
I don't know.
Well, I can say I do. We can at least say that we evolved, but the Bible doesn't have the answers, but
You
science
said
does.
biblically.
Yeah, from the
Biblically,
text of the Bible.
the
Yeah.
poetry of Genesis 1 is supposed to tell us of the fall of mankind. The goal isn't to give us the accounts of exactly how everything is created and made. That's not the purpose of Genesis 1.
Okay, so let me shift because you're not moving in on any of this. I want to
You're trying to
interrogate the
make an
value.
argument I'm not making to destroy. I don't even know why we're on Genesis
Because you're
1
not
because I was
cause,
talking about
no
the
because you're
I
not
was
arguing
talking
you're
about
not,
the
okay,
archaeological
I want to
evidence
pivot
that
it.
was
I want
discovered
to pivot
in
it.
the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden you said
so then my
evolution.
substantiation. Well, so no, so I brought up evolution because if you're arguing archaeology as in like the study of history and then trying to find that as evidence, if we take that study further enough, we get to evolution. So if you want to substantiate, there's like historical documents. There's other historical documents provides like the Quran. I'm sure there's other faiths that coincide with historical events.
Okay,
So
show me
I
one.
think it's a wash.
You're just
The
saying they
Quran,
exist, and
his conquest, the conquest of
so
Muhammad.
again, how many times I gotta say this? I already agree that the Quran
Yeah,
has
but I don't.
historical
I'm trying to
information
get
in it
past
that's
that. I'm
true.
trying to get past that. I'm trying to get past that. But you're going to the point where you can just stonewall. So why? What's substantive about poetic? Something that is innately up to interpretation. Do you think that's a good way to build up your like what you believe to substantively believe in things?
So I believe it's a story about the fall. So it gives me information on my theology, not the ontology of the planet. That's not the purpose of
Then
it.
it
That's
then
like reading
does the
that's like
Bible
reading a
lack
social
that?
studies textbook and saying, "Well, it doesn't talk about the evolution of monkeys. I can't believe in social studies anymore."
Yeah, but the social studies textbooks isn't claiming to have answers to where humans come from.
Neither is the Bible.
So then it's just permitted to fail in that regard.
It's not failing. It's not what it's doing.
Then
That's like
where does the
saying that
Bible
you're
say
like
that
saying
humans
because
have
my
came
bicycle,
from?
you're saying that because my bicycle makes a horrible submarine, it fails.
Yeah.
That's the
How
argument that
does
you're
the
trying to
Bible
make right now.
can you describe how humans came to be in the Bible? How does the Bible describe humans coming into being?
So it doesn't. It gives a poetic nature
It
of,
does.
oh
It
my
says
God.
that God created them.
So if you're just talking about how humans came into existence, we were created by God. The
So at what
hold on,
point?
shut the hell up for a second.
Okay. Jesus
The
Christ.
methodology in how that happened is up to interpretation, and I ultimately don't know.
So if the Bible begins as poetics, is there more substance to the history, or do you get to pick and choose when it's like substantive and poetic?
So if I give you uh, a letter, and in those letters the couplets start rhyming, so you start seeing that sentence A starts rhyming with sentence B. What's your immediate interpretation?
Sorry, I was. Can you repeat that? I was one of my clients was calling me.
So if I give you a letter, and in that letter you start seeing that there's couplets, and sentence A and sentence B are rhyming, what is your interpretation
Oh,
of that letter?
it rhymes.
And if it's rhyming and there's couplets, what do you assume is the genre?
Poetry,
Right. That's modern day poetry.
or it could be like
So
playwriting if you're talking about Shakespeare, like the Renaissance period.
if we understand the hermeneutics of ancient Hebrew and how they wrote poetry, and we start seeing their version of couplets and their version of rhyming patterns, then what do we assume?
It's art.
So it's not I pick and
It's not like
choose.
science, bro. I
It's
don't know
not
why
it's
you're
not
acting so fucking
it's not
confident.
it's not I pick and
Okay, I have to
choose.
go.
It's not
No, I
wow.
know I have to go.
You're so
I just need to
sassy.
let you know you're a
I love you so
dipshit.
much.
You're just a fucking retard. Okay, take care, buddy.
All right, I love you, bro. We'll talk next time. Appreciate your guys' time. If you like this, please make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notification button, leave a comment, leave a like, do all the things that you need to do. And if you want to support me, you want to support this channel, you can support it on Patreon. All links are down below. And if you want to see more content like this, please let me know. God bless you guys and have yourselves a great day.